Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. The station fire in the San Gabriel Mountains burned 161,000 acres. Joining us to talk about how our climate is changing and how fires affect the environment is a distinguished professor of biology at Pepperdine University, Dr. Stephen Davis. Nice to have you with us, Doctor.
Well, thank you for having me.
These fires, I guess you had reminded me off air that the last major ones were 2007, and yet it seems like they just happened, but it was 2 years ago. What's happening in our climate here? Are we having more fires, or do I just feel like we're having more fires?
We're having more fires,
Okay.
and they're more frequent. And it was predicted by climate change models that we're going to have hotter, drier, more frequent fires, and we're seeing evidence of that right now.
Is that attributed to the lack of rainfall? We're basically now in our 4th year of drought.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the record-breaking drought of 2002. That was broken in 2007, and this year we've had 60% of normal. So this is a recent trend, and it's not good.
There's good news and bad news. Obviously, whenever we have a fire, it's not a good situation, but I understand the natural chaparral that we have here in Southern California actually adapts well to fires if it's the right kind of fire. How so?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, that's what our students at Pepperdine focus on, the remarkable recovery capacity of chaparral after fire. And they actually need fire to rejuvenate and regrow. The seeds need either a smoke indicator or cracking of the seed coat.
I remember after that fire that we had, you guys had it right there in Malibu, I drove past it and the mountain was just charred and it was black, but I saw some green sprouts coming through, and I could be wrong, but I only thought it was about 2 weeks afterwards. It was so visible. Yeah,
within 2 weeks. In some species, it's actually the next day. You can see where the burnt leaf is, and it's elongated, because the base is protected like styrofoam, and the meristem, the growing point's not killed.
And I understand if the chaparral actually doesn't burn, then it doesn't regenerate. So it actually, for those seeds to be released, you do need some fire.
Yeah, need to recycle the nutrients, to recycle the new species, and so it's a dynamic process that's really needed in our environment.
But how different is it if we have a certain amount of fires that are natural versus if we start having these repetitive fires?
Yeah, that's the problem, because humans are involved, and because of climate change and arson. Over 90% in the Santa Monica Mountains are due to arson. And so frequent fire, the plants don't have time to get the seeds out and to recover. So those species are eliminated, and we see that evidence now.
Well, you're obviously, as you're saying, your students, but you too, when you're right up there in that area which tends to be prone to fires, what are we learning, and how can we do things differently that maybe we can actually avoid some of these fires?
Well, we definitely need to be better prepared, and if we have structures we want to protect, we need to have a buffer zone around, and they will come, and a lot of it's climate driven. So if we have Santa Ana winds and hot and dry conditions, it's almost inevitable if there's a start.
The station fire, many people were saying that it was not during the Santa Ana wind times. Had we had the Santa Ana winds, might the outcome have been quite different?
Man, we were very, very lucky. And what is atypical about this, we're now getting fires in wintertime. We're getting fires that are major, like the station fire, without Santa Ana winds. And that's because hot and dry.
Low humidity. I know we had that problem too. So at the campus, you're right there along those beautiful, majestic mountains. What kinds of things do you do to make sure that you're protected and you're safe?
Well, number one, the buildings on campus are clustered, and there's a perimeter road so it can be protected. We do have a green belt, low vegetation. We don't have large trees up near the windows. And so even with all of that, it's not perfect, but it does help.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your time with us. It's good to know that we don't like fires, but there's kind of a good side to them as long as they don't happen too frequently.
Yeah,
Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young. Now back to CNN Headline News.
You can count on me to connect you with the best cable, high-speed internet, and telephone services.
I'm ready to answer your questions and make sure you get the most from Charter.
I'm here in your neighborhood to help with everything, from equipment upgrades to billing.
I'm always looking for ways to keep you better connected and deliver more of what you want, like faster internet and more HD.
We're a team of 16,000 people.
Fully committed to bringing your home to life.
Today and tomorrow.